It sounds a bit cliche, but time is flying by. It's hard to even understand that it's already 2025. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this last year was a complete blur. This is largely due to the fact that we had one of the biggest life events imaginable. Morgan and I were greeted by our beautiful daughter, Naomi. Now I know that some of you watching aren't parents, but if you are, you will likely understand this phenomenon of what 2024 was for us. If not, I am going to explain it as best as I can. After becoming a parent, you quickly shift your perspective on life and need to be instantly less selfish in the decisions that you make. Everything must be done in regard to this life that was thrust into this world. In turn, your life and priorities start to change. For us, this change was pretty significant, saying that we were traveling the world for the last 2 years. Now I guess we are attempting to gain some stability or normalcy, if those things even exist, because I'm not quite convinced yet. But I came into this last year with a list of things that I wanted to accomplish. Prioritize creating more videos, podcasts, improving my photography, continue journaling, practice drawing, read more books, get better at yoga, run more often, try to stay curious and explore the world. The list goes on, but most importantly, I needed to figure out how to not only be a good husband, but a good father, because February 1st turned everything upside down. Being a good parent is so much harder than I realized. Morgan makes it look easy, but it didn't come as naturally to me. I suffered tremendously from one unexpected factor. A complete lack of sleep. I was absolutely not prepared to be woken up every hour for 6 months straight. It was quite possibly one of the biggest battles of my life. Let me try to explain. I quickly realized that your brain and body can only hold so much capacity, and you really have to decide how to dedicate your brain power. A normal person who doesn't have a baby in their house wakes up after a good night's rest with their brain at 100% capacity, ready to tackle the day ahead. No matter what, after having a baby, at least in my case, I would start out the day at about 75%. After my morning cup of coffee, I might artificially get myself to about 80%. But now I have 80% to get me through the rest of the day to do all of the things that I want to do. But in 2024, I also resumed my career in engineering. So that is also going to take one of the largest time investments. Let's say that commitment is about 35%. So now after work, I have a remaining 45% of my brain power. That's 45% to make videos, write, draw, read, practice yoga, run, and be present with being a dad and husband. The math's not adding up here too well. So, like I said, I needed to reprioritize and figure out what was most important for me and my family. This obviously came at the expense of some of the less important things. For me, everything else fell wayside. I decided to pour the remaining of my energy into attempting to be a good dad and husband. My days were consumed with playing with Naomi, cleaning our apartment, cooking meals, doing the dishes, trying to instill creativity in our daughter, going on stroller walks, and just spending more time with our families. I'm definitely not mad about it. Life is just different now. But after adjusting to the lack of sleep and this new normal, I was able to focus some of my time on the things that are a part of me, the things that are ingrained in my DNA. I made some of my favorite videos this past year, including wrapping up our Traveling the World series with the final episode in Brazil. I did continue to journal, I drew, sometimes. I made time to exercise and go on runs, even if it was only a light stretch or some push-ups in the morning.
Hell yeah, feeling good. Let's go, Logan.
I was able to read 24 books. My favorites were Dune, Project Hail Mary, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, and Shogun. Shogun was unbelievably good. I was completely invested into the world. It's a mere 1,200-page novel that follows an epic journey through the 17th century Japan. I can't recommend it enough. Though some nights after Morgan would get Naomi to bed, we just wanted to relax, turn our brains off for a little bit, and be swept away in other people's creations. Because a really good movie is hard to beat sometimes. I can get so tremendously inspired by seeing these stories unfold. We watched 97 movies this last year. The standouts were The Iron Claw, Poor Things, with a disclaimer that this is definitely not a movie for everyone.
And your sad face makes me discover angry feelings for you.
We watched Richard Linklater's The Before trilogy, which is a beautiful story about love and life.
You know, like just as a reminder that once we really did meet, that this was real, this happened.
And of course, the best movie that came out this last year, Dune Part 2. I wouldn't shut up about it after watching it. I told everybody I knew how amazing it was. It sent me down a rabbit hole of science fiction obsession for about 2 months. And as much as I might want to sometimes, we can't always hide in film and books from the reality that we live in. And this reality can be stressful. For me and most people, the real stress comes down to money. This last year, I bought a car, we paid off Morgan's student loans, and towards the end of the year, we decided that the one-bedroom apartment wasn't cutting it for our sanity anymore, so we started looking for a house. If anyone knows, the real estate market is not in the buyer's favor at the moment. High prices and high interest rates just compounds some of this stress. After months of searching on Zillow, unaccepted offers, too high of prices, failed inspections, we found a house that was right for us. The only catch was that it had been abandoned for 7 years, it needed some love, and actually came with another house that is currently condemned. So that will be a project for this year.
Increase the value today.
But I knew under its rough exterior, it was a beautiful home, and after weeks of getting it ready, working on it, and a ton of help from my dad, we moved into our new home in early December. And somehow, in all of this craziness, we still continued to explore. Maybe not as much as we would have liked, but Morgan and I fulfilled our desires to travel and see more of this beautiful country. We made it to Rhode Island, Connecticut, Michigan, and Kentucky. And we just got back from a family trip to Colorado, So technically that was in 2025, so I won't go into it too much, but definitely recommend snowboarding in Breckenridge. This world has endless beauty, and I never want to take it for granted because it's so fun to take Naomi on our adventures now. So, what a year. It has truly been one of my favorites. There was no sense for making goals for 2025. We're just going to play it by ear, enjoy every day, and continue to do the things that we love. How are you enjoying your hike?
What do you have to say about it? Did you like the part where we let you take your diaper off? Yeah, was that your favorite? What else?
Sleeping in mom's wrap.
Yes, and taking drinks out of mom's water. Yeah, that was a good part too, huh?
And what now has become an annual tradition at this point, here is our 2024, 1 second every day, so that maybe when we look back when we're older, it won't be as much of a blur anymore. Cheers.
Show your hands. If you need a new coat of paint,
Caretaker.
if your bones are now heavy things, like anchors hidden somewhere beneath your skin,
Some tummy time.
or if your head's just an empty box, if your heart has become spare parts. If your days are now just something you must bear.
You looking at?
No, it seems you're a lot like me. You know yourself in the places you never thought you would be. Don't fret,
Reading your
don't
book?
keep your mind. The only constant is changing. You never know what you'll find. Yeah, tomorrow